I found out I wasn't invited to my own family's Christmas dinner, through a group photo on Facebook. And just 2 hours later, my mom emailed me an invoice for $23,000, asking me to cover my sister's dream car, as if I owed them something. For being born. If you're shaking your head right now, share this story. Hit subscribe, smash that like button, and let me know in the comments how you would respond if your family treated you like a bank instead of a daughter. The worst part wasn't even the money. It was the message she sent along with it. You didn't come for Christmas, so at least do something useful for your sister. That line kept echoing in my head like a slap I didn't see coming. I sat there on my tiny apartment couch, watching the Christmas lights from across the street blink through my window, feeling like I'd been erased from my own family. No one had called. Not even my sister, Mia, the same sister who once cried because I didn't help her rehearse for a school play. Now she gets a BMW and I get a bill, but this isn't where the story ends. See, what my family didn't know was that while they were mocking me for being a failure with a laptop, I was quietly building something that would make them regret every word. For the last 2 years, I had been working on a side project. Alone. In silence. No mentors, no investors. Just YouTube tutorials, sleepless nights, and rejection emails I never told anyone about. While they thought I was broke and struggling, I was actually sitting on a software idea that had just closed a 6-figure deal, but I said nothing. Not when my dad said, "Maybe it's time you get a real job." Not when Mia posted her new car with the caption, "Some of us win, some of us whine." Not even when I saw the family wearing matching Christmas pajamas, while I was eating noodles, because I knew something they didn't, and the moment they'd find out, it was coming fast. So when my mom sent the invoice again, this time through WhatsApp with a smiley face, I didn't reply. I just screenshotted it, saved it in a folder labeled receipts, and kept working. They thought silence meant weakness, but I wasn't being quiet out of fear. I was planning. 2 weeks later, my startup app, one they had all laughed at when I first told them about it, got featured on a viral TikTok account. Overnight, users exploded. I had 18,000 new signups in 48 hours. My servers crashed. I had to hire 3 freelancers just to keep it alive. I didn't celebrate. Not yet, because this wasn't about success. It was about justice. The 3rd week of January, I got an invite to a family celebration dinner. No apology. No explanation. Just a location, time, and a note that read, "Everyone will be there. Dress nice." I knew what that meant. They'd seen the TikTok, they'd seen the headlines, they'd seen the Forbes article that called me the girl who coded her way out of rejection. They were trying to act like nothing happened. So I showed up. I in the exact same outfit they once made fun of, black jeans, my old hoodie, and the same broken phone I had taped together 6 months ago. As soon as I walked in, everyone froze. Mia dropped her fork. My uncle, who once told me tech is a man's world, tried to smile like he hadn't just liked Mia's post calling me a wannabe, but I didn't let them speak. I walked to the center of the table, pulled out the $23,000 invoice, and said, "Don't worry, I brought what you asked for." The room got quiet. I took a breath, pulled out my phone, and airdropped everyone a PDF. It was a new invoice, from me, for $1.20 million, the cost of using my software for your businesses, which half of them had already secretly signed up for under fake names. Their jaws dropped, but I wasn't done. Mia was the first to speak. Her voice cracked as she laughed nervously. "Wait, you're kidding, right? Like, this is some kind of prank?" I didn't even blink. "You think your car was expensive? Try running your entire boutique store on software you didn't pay for." My uncle stood up, red-faced. "You can't charge family, this is a joke." I looked straight at him. "You didn't treat me like family when you made fun of my hoodie. When you said I'd end up working at a call center. When you left me out of Christmas because I wasn't successful enough. No one spoke. They weren't just embarrassed now, they were scared, because they knew I had power now. Real power. Not just money. Control. Data. Access. My dad finally spoke. "Victoria, maybe we made some mistakes. But this isn't how families fix things." "Oh, you're right," I smiled. "Families don't send invoices." I pulled out a second envelope and placed it next to the first one. "This one's for the emotional damage. Being ignored. Mocked. Treated like a ghost unless you needed something." Inside was a letter with one sentence: "I forgive you, but I don't forget." Then I turned to Mia. "By the way, your car? The dealership called me. You missed 3 payments. I paid it off, but it's in my name now." Her face went pale. "You took my kindness for weakness. But that's over." The silence was louder than any apology they could have given. And I loved every second of it, but then something happened I didn't expect. My mom stood up, and what she said next changed everything. My mom looked me dead in the eyes, and with a cold, flat voice said, "You think money makes you better than us?" No tears. No shame. Just ego dressed as concerned. I stared at her, waiting for even a little regret. Nothing. She walked around the table slowly, like a villain in some old movie, and added, we gave you life. You were nothing before us. You wouldn't have built anything if we hadn't raised you. You owe us. That word, oh, hit me like a punch. I wasn't angry. I was done. So I pulled out my phone again, opened my camera, and hit record. Say that again, I said calmly, holding it up. She flinched. What are you doing? Just making sure I don't forget what this moment sounds like. The moment you tried to make me feel guilty for succeeding without you. Everyone panicked. My dad tried to grab the phone and Mia shouted, she's recording. Stop her. Too late. I uploaded it on the spot, not on my personal page, but on the official brand account of my startup that now had over 900,000 followers. Caption, this is what it looks like when success threatens ego. It went viral. In minutes, but what happened next shocked even me. An old employee of my dad's, someone he fired 10 years ago, stitched the video and said, she's telling the truth. I watched them humiliate her for years. Then one of Mia's old classmates shared it, too. She always helped people, they just never gave her credit. Within 24 hours, it had 3.2 million views. My inbox exploded, offers, collaborations, emails, from people who said they'd been through the same thing. I wasn't just a success story now. I was a symbol, and just when I thought it couldn't get crazier, I got a call from someone I never expected to hear from again, and his first words were, you probably hate me, but I need to talk. It was Ethan, my ex, the same guy who dumped me 3 years ago because, and I quote, you have too many dreams and not enough reality. Back then, he laughed when I said I wanted to build a tech company. Said it sounded like a phase. Said I needed to stop wasting time and be more like Mia. Now he was calling me, from a verified number, from a co-working space in Silicon Valley. I let it ring twice before picking up. Didn't expect this, I said, leaning back in my chair. There was a pause. Then a nervous chuckle. Yeah, I saw the video. Everyone's talking about you. You really did it. I didn't reply. He continued. Look, I know I messed up. I judged you too fast. I was immature. But I'm working on something now, and I think, maybe we could collaborate. I almost laughed, not because it was funny, but because I realized something. The same people who once rejected me were now reaching out, not out of love, but out of fear of being left behind. I asked him one question, if no one knew who I was today, would you still have called? The silence was louder than any answer. I didn't think so, I whispered. This line isn't open anymore. Click, the moment I hung up, I knew something inside me had fully changed. I wasn't chasing approval anymore. I was chasing impact. That night, I launched a new feature in my app, one that helps underdog creators build income from their skills, without begging for validation. I called it Rebuild. And the first 3 beta invites? I sent them anonymously. To 3 women I knew were being mocked the same way I once was, because my revenge was never about revenge. It was about breaking the cycle. But just as I closed my laptop, I got an alert. A private message from Mia, please. I need your help. Something's wrong with Dad. It's serious. And in that moment, I had to decide if I was still the same girl they once ignored. Or something else entirely.